Congratulations, everyone! Finals is over!
Oh, hooray! Oh my god. Finally, we all deserve a pat on the shoulder, right, Sam?
That we do, partner. Now, as we put those dreaded papers behind us, let us now look forward to summer!
Hooray! And as we dive into the cool waters of our summer getaway, let us also dive into our student leaders that are definitely shining and continue to shine this semester.
Let us unpack one by one how leadership is made in school. Partner, I have big news for you. RACCF USC was awarded as one of the top outstanding campus student organizations last May 6, 2023 during the 37th USC Excellency Awards. A big honor for all of us Rotaractors.
Wow, partner, Sam! This is great news for our fellow Rotarackers. Truly, RACCF USC lived up to the values of Rotary. For sure, past RACCF USC members will be very proud of this achievement as they were a part of what RACCF USC is now.
I agree with you, Jay. As we progress, RACCF USC continues to thrive. I also have another one, Jay. We are also a recipient of the Pilipinas Groundbreaking Exemplary Achievements of Rotaractor Awards with not just one, but 2 recognitions. We were recognized with an Exemplary Club Award with Platinum Distinction and Most Outstanding Project Winner for Strands of Hope.
Oh my god, what a great way to end this academic year!
It has definitely been a great year for us Rotaractors. We achieved so much this academic year. We had both online and face-to-face activities, which ignited our members. All our efforts paid off and was worth it.
And without you, USC Rotaractors, these recognitions and awards would not be possible. Thank you to our dear officers and thank you to all those who continue to support the organization.
And that's it for the current events of RACCF USC.
Being a leader is challenging, especially in today's cognitive-oriented society in the world of new technologies that seem to transform every aspect of thinking, requiring new skills and abilities for sustainability. Especially during the pandemic that has infected nearly every continent, forced businesses to shut down, and moved individuals into varying levels of quarantine. Yet amid all this, a lesser-known story deserves to get attention. Stories of youth rising up to meet the collective challenges of the times. More than ever, young leaders are involved in rising above the occasion, braving the storm, and triumphantly championing solutions that would benefit everyone. Greta Thunberg, Nelson Quahe, and Xian Lu are among the many proactive youth leaders who provide inspiration to all young leaders to kickstart and sustain positive change in our communities. In line with Rotary Youth Service Month, let's celebrate young leaders who join to fight for important causes such as the protection of the environment, community development, and redefining the current system by rising as volunteers, always ready to take action. In this challenging landscape, Rotaract provides opportunities to young leaders to forward advocacies that truly matter, with a commitment to continue in our efforts to contribute to a better global community. You may ask, what more can I do in a world where the gap between old and the new generation is widening? By all means, we work through our capacity to plan, communicate, and act together. My challenge is this: to all the youth out there, demand for more. Fight fake news and historical revisionism. Educate yourself and others. Promote the right to education. Create safe spaces for you and our LGBTQIA+ brothers and sisters. Tackle the world's toughest challenges. Push for climate justice. Redefine the political system. Redesign your future. Innovate. Find your purpose. Listen to the voice within. believe that you are meant for more extraordinary things, and invest in something that would benefit you and the community. Seems like a lot of responsibility for a youngster like you, right? But let me tell you this. Although we can solve the problems in the world all at once, discover what you wish to see in the world and transform it into advocacy. Because as we move forward, I am sure that history will show the world's young people like you help to move this world from despair to hope as custodians and hope makers of the future.
Hello to our dear listeners, we besties. Welcome back to our May episode. I am Sean Ashley Go, one of your hosts for today's episode, and together with my other hosts.
Hi, so I'm Jay Montivez, and today we're tackling the theme of Youth Service Month.
A man's uncle once said, "With great power comes great responsibility." This month's episode features the Rotary theme of the month, Youth Service Month, to empower the youth in becoming the leaders of tomorrow.
Beyond Borders believes it is fitting to invite leaders currently taking on student council role, as we believe that this is a good stepping stone for an aspiring leader's youth service journey. Our guests for this episode are a manifestation of the word leadership. From starting their journey as humble volunteers to spearheading or organizing events and later on taking up bigger leadership positions in various organizations and student governments, presently they are part of the incumbent administration of the University of San Carlos Green Student Council for the USC SSC, preparing themselves to fulfill their duties in their respective elected positions.
BB Besties, with us in this episode are Vice President Shine Marie Talaron and Councilor Christine Baez. Say hi, guys!
Hi!
So, to allow our listeners to get to know you guys a bit more, I would like to ask if the both of you could share a little bit about what your position is and what your position entails as part of the USC SSC. So, can we start with Ate Shine?
Hello, everyone. So my name is Shine Marie Talaron, and I am currently the USC SSC Vice President for the academic year of 2023 to 2024.
Would it be okay, Ate Shine, if I could ask, what does it mean to be the Vice President of USC SSC? What are some of your roles and responsibilities as Vice President?
Okay, sure. So basically, my role as Vice President is, of course, to support the SSC Council as a whole and to be able to uphold the projects and the platforms that we are going to implement. And of course, we are also given the task of bridging the SSC or the USC student body as a whole to external connections, external networks. So yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Ate Shine.
So for Christine, can you tell us a bit about your position and what you do?
Okay, thank you. So I am one of the councilorial elects. So in the SSC, we have 21 councilors and I am one of them. So as a councilor, of course, it is expected from me to uphold my promise that I made when I was a candidate, like the platforms that we shared to the Carolinian body, as well as to represent the Carolinians in the best way possible for the next academic year. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, ladies. Now, personally, I really look forward to this episode. And I have had past experiences of being a leader myself, but it's really nice to have inspiring ladies, inspiring women, yes, women empowerment, here today, and we can learn about them with leaderships.
Definitely. So since we got to know a little bit more about Christine and Shine and their work at SSC as counselor and the vice president, I think it's actually fair enough we can actually start digging in what youth service is and how they got into their positions, and we can just expand the horizon of what youth service is. Right, Shine?
Yes, I definitely look forward to it. So
Exactly.
I hope the listeners will learn something from today's episode.
Yeah. So I think we'll just start off. Usually when we talk about youth service and leadership positions, we always tend to talk about the, let's say, rainbows and butterflies rainbows and sunshine aspect of it, what it means to be a good leader. And when we usually talk about that, we always ask what type of leader are you, what are the things you do, and like what makes you stand out. Here at DB, we really go beyond borders, definitely thinking outside the box. So like for Christine and Shine, I think we want to ask you, what do you think makes you a bad leader?
Okay. What makes me a bad leader? I suppose it's when I think too much at the time when the perfectionist in me kind of comes out. Like you want everything to go how you want it to be. But to be a leader is that you're basically just leading other people to a shared goal. It's not just your goal alone, you know? So I think sometimes our individual personality comes out and that also makes you a good leader, but at the same time, it also creates boundaries between you and your peers. So I think sometimes kanang mugawas atong pagka-perfectionist and it sets us apart na hinunta. So like, how do I phrase this? In a sense na like, for me kasi personally, there's like a wall that I build sometimes in order for people to, I get defensive na kanang, you know, as a woman in leadership, kanang you sometimes have to go beyond yourself to prove to other people that you are worthy. You have the characteristics of a good leader. And sometimes as a girl, like you have to go beyond. And sometimes it sets you as someone na unapproachable or someone intimidating. I mean, really, you can just be yourself. I mean, as cringe as that sounds, just chill sometimes, siguro. Yeah.
So aside from that, also, my answer would be in general lang. For me, what I think a bad leader is when you don't know how to listen, because everything starts there, Manggod. Everything starts with listening. Like if you keep on blurting out words or your own thoughts, or if you stand by your own personal ideas and thoughts only and not listen to others, of course, everything will fall apart from there on. Okay, you don't know how to take criticisms well, or you don't know how to incorporate the ideas of others in order to come up with a better solution, gani. Like, you always have to be open to everyone so that you can come up with the best possible solution or the best possible outcome. So that's what I think a bad leader is, siguro. It all starts with listening.
Yeah, I agree. And I guess to add to that, kay, don't be afraid to be vulnerable to other people. Like, don't be afraid to show your flaws because at the end of the day, we're all just students pa man. There's always room for improvement. And we have to focus siguro on kindness, on bringing out the good parts in other people. We have to focus siguro on that. Not to be like very positive vibes, no? Kay, I mean, I feel like daghan na kayo negativity sa tong life. Yeah, we're always looking at extreme sides of things. Pero I think there's also merit in showing to other people na there's nothing wrong with leading niya ka na. Again, as in a feminist outlook siguro, na as a woman, personally, I have this pressure to always be stricter, to always not show my emotions because there's a very stereotypical societal look sa mga women leaders na they're too emotional. So like I've tried to deviate from that and I've tried to look as strong as possible, as masculine as possible, but that's not really how we should be because why do you have to do that, man? Mura na no, it's not giving, you know, it's not giving. You know, don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Don't be afraid to show emotions because that's normal and that's what makes us human. And so like, need to connect to other people before we become good leaders. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. I really like your answers. I liked what Ate Shine mentioned about not being afraid to be vulnerable and showing flaws. I think that as weird as it may sound, I think that that is something that a lot of the leaders now need to do. I think it establishes a deeper connection between the leader and the people that are looking up to them. And I also liked what Ate Christine said about listening. As simple as that may sound, it's something that oddly enough is so foreign or something that is not being practiced enough. So I like the 2 points that both of you mentioned. So now that you guys have laid down what you think makes a bad leader, who do you look to as an anti-example of a leader?
Siguro if you were to ask this question to me before, maybe like me in junior high school, I would probably say na, oh, maybe I'm the anti-example of a leader. Because I used to think that I didn't have what it takes. I wasn't something a leadership material. I thought I was more of a follower. Kay, you think to yourself, ba nga, there's only so much people who can be leaders, but I don't think I can be one of them. But, here I am actually taking on the role as the USC SSC Vice President, which is still a bit crazy to me, but, I'm trying to absorb that and trying to take on the anxiety and turn it into motivation to be a better leader. So, to answer this question, siguro right now, for me, who do you look to as an anti-example of a leader? Maybe we should look at the circumstances that kind of makes us think that we're not good enough as leaders, makes us think that we're anti-example of a leader. Because if we look at it, we're all leaders. Society looks at us as the hope of the future. Kita ang pag-asa ng bayan. Pero why do we have these thoughts na we're not good enough? Na we don't have room for mistakes? Maybe we should try to look at the bigger picture and ask ourselves, what are the standards of a bad leader? Yeah, does it apply to us? Nga, we're all here. We're not even paid to take on roles. We're here voluntarily. We're not paid to do all of these works. Pero the standards is through the roof. And then we look at our political landscape. Like, do we apply the same standards towards our student leaders and towards our national leaders? Maybe. So, not just to blame the system. Not to blame the system, pero maybe I'm blaming the system a little bit na for making us think that we're always not good enough. Pero look at them. Are they doing a good job? The people in Malacanang Palace, are they doing a good job in leading the Philippines, in leading us to become the future leaders that they want us to be? So, yeah, that's all.
So to add up on that also, siguro on my end, what I think about this question is, kanang if I point out other people who are bad leaders, it reflects who am I as a person. Because I believe, Manggod, na personally, the best judges for like who we can label as bad leaders is ourselves. Because we know, Manggod, if unsa jud ato nabuhat, like behind closed doors, or like not everyone can see that, or unsa tong gipakita. So the best judges as a leader is ourselves, Jud. Like, if we see nga nagkuwang ta diri dapita, or we have mistakes along the way, of course we have to be self-correcting. We have to realize nga, oh, this is not the leader that I want to be. What I want to be is a leader who is like this and like that, a leader who best represents everyone, and a leader who is true to my promises, not just someone who promises by words, but also kind of reflective po siya sa mga actions. So yeah, I think it boils down to judging yourself first before you can say na someone is a bad leader.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a portion of self-reflection, and also analyzes our environment, like what Shine said. Maybe it's the system, and sometimes it's also how we critique ourselves and how we also put into. I think I want to follow up this question about bad leaders, because I think when we point about bad leaders, we also have this difference in creating effective leaders. There is a difference between a certain type of leader who are effective, and also there are leaders who are what you call the servant leaderships. Do you wanna, as student leaders right now, where would you consider? Where do you try to see yourself, at least in your position? Like, I think Shine or Christine can go first about that.
For me, personally, I'm in the servant leadership position. Okay, even though sometimes you have to adjust, you have to know your ground. Sometimes you have to step up and lead everyone, but sometimes you also have to be level with everyone, Jude. Yeah, be in their shoes, gani, in order to understand their needs. Because how can you understand what they need and what they want if you're not one of them, or if you don't try to adjust with them? So I think the best type of leadership is being a servant leader, because you have to stay on the ground, Jude, even if you have a position or a seat. It doesn't give you power, or it doesn't bring a height, or like kanang it doesn't rank up your name. It doesn't put a glimmer on your name, or like doesn't glorify you or something. It's just that you're entrusted by everyone nga, oh, kani siya, makasaligan ni siya. And I think this person would best represent me, and this person would best represent everyone nga dili siya kutob storya, but also matching with actions po.
I think we're all student leaders here, man, no? Pero we also have to be effective, man. And I don't see why we can't be both. To be student leaders, kay, you have to be also effective in a sense, di ba? Pero there are certain qualities in being a student leader as opposed to servant leader. I'm so sorry. Being a servant leader kanang possess that kanang siguro is exclusive to that, and then effective leader is kanang napo siya iyahang nga own. Pero I don't see why you can't be both. Kay I think both are equally important. And to be a servant leader, you have, like Christine said, na kanang you have to be connected with your peers and to kanang to your grounds, to your principles, to your beliefs in order to be effective. Because kanang you have to know yourself mandaan. And I think that's what being a servant leader is. Na kanang you're grounded to your belief. And that makes you effective, I think, because you can level with the people that you're working with. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much for your answers. So I think we can move on to the next question. So as student leaders, it's an obvious picture that you are a student before you are a leader, and you are aware being a student is already heavy enough and of a burden to bear. So why choose to run for the position as USC SSC and basically add more to your plate?
True, I agree. As a political science major, coming through finals, I'm still catching up on my backlogs. I mean, we did have our last deadline yesterday, but I still have like backlogs from when we were campaigning in April. So it's definitely true. Nga, being a student in this time and age is definitely difficult, especially as we've just come from the pandemic, online, and then we're still in a hybrid kind of modality. That's something that we're not really used to because we're trying to soak in pagani the pandemic, and then the online class was traumatic to all of us. Kay clicking modules every day, and then we're not even allowed to see our friends to like chill out with, and we're naratas ang kwarto per me, and I think it was dark times for most of us. Yeah, I guess that in itself motivated me to step up and to put myself out there because the pandemic really changed my perspective in life. Char, ka-dramatic. Pero, before the pandemic, guys, I was about to take up psychology. I was about to take up something that's not poli. Poli was so out of my thoughts.
Is this developing your gaslighting?
No, it wasn't good. It wasn't practical for me because I'm the type of person na very logical. I wanted to take up psych. It was a versatile na koan, like what's supposed to be in demand. It can be pre-med, pre-law. It's very versatile. And po sa wala siya board exam. Usually people just think nga you're going to law school after. Like, that kind of thinking. Pero I took up poli because I had like a desperate realization na, oh my God, the world is siya. It's more like natangtang ako ang curtains of privilege, as I would say. And I thought to myself na it has to be studied. Politics should be studied. Na students should be more really aware about society in general. Like, we're in the dark without politics, without studying politics, without our social sciences, we're left in the dark. And politics affects us. It affects everyone. Like, everything is political, basically. And so, for me, running for SSC and adding those to my plate, it's not really something it's adding to my plate because more part siya as a student. It's part of molding myself to get a better grasp at society in general. And we're supposed to be taught to be witnesses to the word. And maybe I'm just acting up on that. Now I'm trying to be a witness to the word in a sense of leading the student, in a sense that I want to also arouse the student body to look at these issues and try to organize and help us mobilize to create tangible and collective action in order to address our issues in the first place, our issues of why academic responsibilities become so much of a burden to students. Why are our mental health deteriorating? Is it because na our education system has become like so commercialized to the point that it's inaccessible to many people, that many people have to stop going to school because kanang mahal na kayo siya, because commercialized ng education. It's not just a right anymore. It's become a privilege. Is it because education has become ground? Like, meron siya og kanang institutions for foreign companies nga kanang nana sila cheap labor in the future, di ba? Mga future, we joke about this sometimes, me and Jay, like, training to be corporate slaves, like that. You know, kanang, I feel like me taking up political science is in line with, I don't want to say my purpose, pero my aspiration siguro of taking a better grasp of molding myself, Jud, to become a more holistic holistic kind of student, and to also serve ultimately the country, and hashtag I love the Philippines. Yes, thank you. What go na, Christine.
Okay, thank you, Ate Shine. To add up with what Ate Shine said, kanang it's true no nga pressuring jud ang ACADS and also extra ko, because I myself I'm an accountancy student niya. We have a cut-off grade that we have to maintain, which is 2.0. Yeah, it's very pressuring. Kay 2.0 is such a big grade. Yeah, it's also hard. Kay accountancy is very demanding. Like daghan kayo major subjects. Yeah. Just the second semester, amo units nga gitake was 29 units. So my schedule was very heavy, Jud. Yeah. Like as soon as I entered college, actually, I didn't have plans of engaging myself much in extracurricular activities or leadership positions, because feel na ko enough na to akong service when I was in junior high and senior high. But then I realized mid-college nga kana ganing leadership is not something that you can suppress or control. Like it comes out naturally, and it's something that pops out, Jud, even if you try not to, or even if you try to be silent about stuff. It's something that's impossible. Kay kabaw man ka mismo nga ikaw mismo kay nakaygibarugan, or like you can do something about stuff that you observe. So mo na siya, like being in the SSC still feels surreal to me. Okay, I know it's a big responsibility because it's one of the biggest student organizations in USC. Yeah, the pressure put of representing like approximately 13,000 Carolinians, that's something. Okay, of course, you have to kanang stay true pud with our promises, and also we have to serve the students in the best way possible, and kana ganing kailangan jud na nay mo step up, or kailangan jud na ay mo act up on certain issues that we observe inside the university. For example, kanang up to this day, kanang blended atong setup, but we don't have Wi-Fi in the school and stuff. Like we don't have proper facilities. So who would lobby these concerns, or who would kanang represent the students man nga? It's a collective concern nga every Carolinian experiences. So mo na siya, I think wala urge ko gamahay nga I took up this step. I didn't expect this to be part of my college life, but it's not something that I regret, Jude.
Thank you so much, ladies. I really love your answers. I learned like a lot of points from what both of you have said as to why you chose to be in USC SSC and add to the responsibilities of being a student, like that to address the issues of the student body, to represent us, the students, in dealing with the issues that the school has. And I love your principles, both of you, of really standing for what you believe in and really choosing to speak out on these issues. With that, I have some follow-up questions also. So, as mentioned earlier, and from listening to your experiences as an accountancy major and as a political science major, what was your experience like running for your position as student? Like, was it nerve-wracking? Was it Kanang maka-pressure ba siya or what is it like?
Going back sa campaign season, kanang everything went by quickly and it was fast-paced jud. Yeah, our schedules were really tight. Okay, even though we had excuse letters para ma-excuse me sa mga classes, kay we all, as what Ate Shine mentioned earlier, kanang nag-catch up pa siya sa iyang backlogs last April. So, even though we had excuse letters, kanang we also cannot set aside our responsibilities as students, gani. So, going back there, it's very pressuring and somewhat kanang physically tiring siya kay, the Philippines is very hot niya. We have to campus hop from main to Talamban campus and building hop also. Maglakaw under the heat of the sun and do campaign room to room or like distribute flyers. It's not easy, Jude. Like it wasn't an easy experience, but from that experience alone or from that 2 weeks alone, like I've learned so much. Kay I realized looking back now, it's not something that I can learn inside the classroom or something that I can experience inside the classroom. Like lahir bedjud if you're in the field na or if you experience it yourself outside the four walls of the classroom. So muna siya, it's very pressuring, but at the same time, it's worthwhile man pod. Like I enjoyed every moment of it, like being with everyone who was with me in that journey. I'm very thankful to have them. Kay it was a big factor pod kay kana ganing I know na I'm not experiencing this tiredness alone. Like I have people around me who share the same passion and share the same journey with me. So because of that, na-bearable ra pod siya. Like because of the people who surround me. How about you, Ate Shine? What do you think about the
Okay,
campaign?
I agree with Christine na it's really physically tiring. Kay irit kayo and then it's also financially tiring. Financially, mahurot akong kwarta sa Maxim kay kanang mag-training pa gabi so like dugin ako kamata kay dugin na ka uli gabi so I really have to rush and Maxim all the way to TC or like to DC asawan mag-room to room for that day. Yeah, for me personally, kay I decided to run very last minute. Kay I was asked last minute. So, murag that whole campaign, I was like, murag hog na sa adrenaline rush. Like, just half of me was just trying to absorb nga, okay, I'm running. Pero it was really ultimately, kay it was really fun. Because I feel like I've just recently realized that I really love elections. Because last year, I was also very active in the 2022 national and local elections as a media volunteer. So, kanang I love the rush that election gives us bitaw kay kanang it brings people together. It gives us hope na kanang student leaders are stepping up, na kanang trying to banner all of these issues, na trying to raise awareness to the people. For example, katong pagka 2022 national elections, kay we all know about the Lenny movement, not the Lenny movement, but like the pink movement that a lot of youth, kay karang namulat lagi, that's the term, namulat at di na muling pipikit. So, murag nice kay siya paminawa, nice kay siya to think na we're all coming in this together, na-arouse ta sa mga issues niya, na-support ta sa mga why all of these are happening, and then we try to channel all of these anger, all of the rage, all of the disappointment and frustration toward mobilizing our communities. Yeah, kanang naadjud siya collective action para, to help, for example, Lenny Robredo win. Yeah, murag, it's not, wala siya nasayang kay at the same time, it was a movement that aroused many Filipino youth. And I guess for this election, kay kanang that's what we tried to do. We held a people's campaign. Na it's not just about SSC elections. It's not just about kanang elections. Lahi na mo ganang context this year because we have just come from the katong last year nga elections, and a lot of student leaders, a lot of students in general have become aroused and have become more socially aware and politically aware. So I think we also have to cater to that and make our campaigns more politically relevant in a sense nga that our issues are not only exclusive or unique to the University of San Carlos, but it's a reflection of issues beyond the university, of issues in the national scale. Nga ka nang reflect siya kay, again, our university is a microcosm of the larger society. So we try to bring in the People's Campaign because that's really the essence of democracy. And that's why I love elections. But for me, the challenge really was after the elections, was winning. Like the anxiety that you feel bitaw. Kay, murag, mo siguro na akong challenge yun. Like after the election, like my anxiety was there jud. It was giving. Murag, okay, we've won na. You were so focused on the elections that you forget na kana, okay, what's next? The next part is the actual work that you have to do na jud. Like, people are gonna have high expectations, and as they should. But at the same time, we also have to go back to our principles na democracy, we're elected in the SSC by the people and for the people. So that doesn't mean na kanang we're here in the SSC as your leaders na, like exclusively we're gonna represent you. No, because we're gonna work on this together. Like the essence of democracy bitaw is because of the people. So we're gonna try and mobilize the students as a whole. Okay, they all have these energies that we recognize. We can see that the students have all of these energy to fight for their students' rights, to actually do something for their future. Yeah, dili naman kami ang makasulbadan na. We're not the solutions. We're just students like you. Pero we're here because we want to tell you that you're part of the student movement. It's not just us, but I mean, it's still scary. Pero the fact that we are living at a time na the youth are dedicated and eager to fight for their rights and to be one of the elected SSC at this time, at this era, is very humbling. And we will do our best. We will do our best, Jun, to lead the students and to represent the students and to be with the students as part of the student movement. All of us. So more na ang thought akong thinking. Pero yeah, I love election. So it was all fun for me until we actually won. Sure. Joke. But yeah.
I really appreciate the honesty na kanang, yes, it was very worth it. In the end, you both won, and now both of you are given this opportunity to serve the student body. But I also appreciate that you were honest of it being a lot of pressure on you, how tiring it was, the anxious feelings of waiting for the results of the voting. So with that, as members already of the USC SSC, your first duty is to represent and serve the Carolinian student body. Now na you actually won, so this is your new your next step already as leaders. But we would like to ask na in the instance, for example, wala mo nang kampanya, wala mo ni run for your positions. In the instance that you are not serving in the SSC now, where would you be? Would you still continue to serve? And if so, in what way?
For me siguro, I mean, I'm still in pol sci, so I'm still in politics. I'm stuck in politics. And I wouldn't have it any other way because going into political science, it's really, I was thinking to myself, na if I don't take up political science, I'm gonna spend the rest of my life wondering what's happening in political science. So that's really why I took it up. Yeah. And it's a very privileged thing for me. Like, not everyone can just pursue a degree just because feel nila they're missing out. So a lot of people are taking up their koan because of practicality. So for me, I'm stuck in politics and I like yeah, why not fun? Sorry ha, cut off lang to. Yeah, moto. For me, I would still be here and as also part of a mass organization, as part of Anakbayan USC, I would still be serving the people just in a different way. Pero, ultimately, to uphold student rights and to talk about social issues and to arouse the masses, to serve the people and to serve the students. And I think the most important part, Jude, no matter what position I am in, even if I'm not the SSC vice president or even if I'm not a political science major, would be to arouse the student, to organize the students, and to help in mobilizing the students and the people, because that's how we can achieve a collective action that actually penetrates the system, that actually makes a difference, because we cannot do this alone. We cannot do this as individuals. We have to be collective in our movements, in our actions. So for me, I would still be here, and it's fun, man. I like it. I like it. Okay, go, Christine.
Okay, so same with Ate Shai, no, kanang if wala ko sa SSC karon, of course, I'll still be here. But I believe na the SSC is not the only kanang way for me to engage in leadership positions or to engage in initiatives, gani. Like, there's so much other ways pa aside from that. Personally, I don't limit myself to initiatives only inside the school. Like, I also try to engage myself in issues or needs outside the school, like sa community. Like, for example, I engage myself in volunteer work for packing for relief goods for mga victims of different calamities. And being a leader, Magod, you don't need an avenue or a platform to do it. Like, you can always initiate it yourself. As what I've said, ako, like, I try to branch out outside the school. Okay, dili raman ang school ang only avenue to do that. But of course, it's also important to engage yourselves inside the school. Okay, napot tayo issues there, and there are ways where we can help there po. So yeah, that's where would I be.
Thank you so much for that. So I think the listeners fully realize how much both of you are really dedicated to leadership. That with Ate Shine being part of an organization and with you, Ate Christine, helping out in the community. So, tinuod yun tayo mong gisulti na the SSC is not the only way to engage in leadership positions, and that us who want to be leaders should not only limit ourselves to initiatives inside the school, but can start with something small like helping out in the community.
Okay, so definitely I believe I agree with like service is always everywhere and there's always opportunity. And I think the heart of it is really volunteerism and the passion you have to connect with others. And I really see that in the campaigns of both Christine and Shine when they were running for campaign.
We may have ended the school year with a bang, but the fun is not yet over for us Rotaractors. A much anticipated event is waiting for us for the month of June.
That's right, BB Besties. DISCON 2023 is right around the corner and is being held here in Cebu at the Waterfront Cebu City Hotel and Casino from June 23 to 25. The preparations have been made and there are definitely a lot of exciting things to look forward to.
That's right, partner. So what are you waiting for, BB Besties? Grab this opportunity to hone your leadership skills and practice camaraderie, all while meeting new faces and reconnecting with old ones.
If you have not registered already, then register now. Visit our Facebook page at Rotaract Club of Cebu Fuente, University of San Carlos, and the DISCON 2023 Facebook page at Rotaract DISCON 2023, Cebu RID 3860 for more details and for the link to the registration form.
Stay tuned to our Facebook page for more updates for the month of June. That is all for the upcoming events. And that's a wrap, BB Besties! We hope you found our episode insightful and inspiring as much as we did.
Correct ka dyan, Sam! Let's all remember that leadership is about empowering others and making a positive impact to the people around us. Whether you're a CEO, a team leader, or even a parent, we live by leadership skills, which are crucial in every aspect.
Agree ako dyan, Jay. So go out there and embrace the leader within you. Be the change you wish to see and inspire others to do the same, BB Besties.
As always, don't forget to like and follow the Rotaract Club of Cebu Fuente, University of San Carlos on Facebook, and at RACCF on Instagram, and RACCF USC on YouTube, BB Besties. We are your hosts. I'm Jay.
And I'm Sam.
See you next episode, BB Besties. Stay tuned and remember to lead with purpose and passion.
See you next episode, BB Besties. Stay tuned and remember to lead with purpose and passion.